Welcome back to the FuturePrint virtual conference. Our next presentation is from a company called Colordyne, who are based in the US, a new FuturePrint partner. So we're really excited about having Colordyne on board. They're a true innovator, and we're learning more and more about them and what they're doing to help and disrupt various markets. And today, this session, presented by Taylor Buckthorpe, who's Director of Sales at Colordyne, is really taking the adaptation theme. So the title of this session is Adapting by Adopting Digital Inkjet Technology for Changing Market Demands. Key words there is obviously adapting and also changing market demands. So I'm really keen to learn a little more about Colordyne, the markets you operate in, and how you see the market developing and changing, and what that means for Inkjet. So welcome to you, Taylor. Whereabouts are you located right now?
I am located outside of the Detroit area, so I'm in Michigan.
Okay.
In a couple feet of snow. We've been getting battered with some snowstorms recently, but staying warm.
Brilliant. Pleased to hear that. And the other side of the lake in Milwaukee here, the weather's like weirdly 20 degrees. So there's some climatic differences. Yeah, which is amazing. And being in Britain, we don't get that kind of climatic difference. Anyway, listen, without further ado, I'd like you to kick off and
sure,
go for it.
Thank you, Marcus, and everyone who's listening in on the FuturePrint virtual conference today. We have a lot to cover, so let's go ahead and dig right in. My goal today is to provide you with a brief overview of Colordyne's new inkjet technology developments for 2021, as well as address how our company focuses on bringing products to market that allow print providers and industry partners to adopt digital print technology faster and more affordably. Colordyne started 10 years ago with a vision to promote affordable, high-speed, and high-quality inkjet technology that can be easily adapted to fit into any narrow web label application. And the company we were was Colordyne Technologies. And really what we focused on there was, again, being a scalable inkjet product offering where we had, primarily a single technology portfolio, all water-based dye. And we went around mainly retrofitting flexo presses with this technology. And we built up a very large installation base, approaching some 600 installations now, I believe. We're in 35 countries, and we have a heavily now staffed company of engineers, and we're coming in around 30 employees total. We're headquartered in Brookfield, Wisconsin, but really, as we looked at addressing the market, Colordyne had to shift and become kind of a new company and take on some new roles and responsibilities. We had to graduate from being that single technology supplier and distributor, and we had to focus more on increasing our IP ownership and investment and look beyond just the narrow web label and tag market and really focus more on, where can we take inkjet into, other markets, into more complex applications. And that resulted in Colordyne Inkjet Innovation. Here, we're a developer, manufacturer of digital print engines. We've expanded our engineering resources. We've become multi-technology competent. We're very focused on the IP ownership and expanding where we can take inkjet. And we're always focused on inkjet automation. And we're doing that all through empowering strategic integration partners in new markets like flexible packaging, corrugated, commercial print, paper converting, mailing and addressing. So we're seeing lots of new applications and markets for digital that really we couldn't address as Colordyne Technologies. So now we have this new division that's really working with taking the platforms you see below and helping companies bring inkjet to their products, their environments, their applications. And we do that through three main technology platforms. The first being our Chromaplex Lt. That is a single print head aqueous pigmented inkjet technology, about 12.75 inches wide. Then we have the next step up from there, which is the Chromaplex Ap. That is a very scalable and dedicated print head per color type of system. And then we have our Chromaplex UV, which is our mechanical piezo Kyocera-based UV LED inkjet. This is a 7 colors, up to 17 inches wide. Again, our goal is to provide customer-oriented design and scalability within these different engine configurations. And we funnel all this development through our strategic integration partner program. And when you look at building a digital company, and as someone who's been a part of that growth for the last 8 years at Colordyne, it takes a village to really support the development, support the end users, and continue the R&D process. So our goal at Colordyne now is to really work with OEMs in different markets. You know, maybe that's a envelope manufacturer, a bread bag manufacturer, a paper towel converting manufacturer, or a flexopress manufacturer, and help them take digital and put it into their environment or put it into their applications and products. And the benefit to them is faster time to market, minimizing capital investment and risk while retaining their business focus. And ultimately, we're there to help. They can lean on our engineering resources, they can leverage our application expertise, and then ultimately, we always like to help with the sales and marketing of the technology as well. And we've been able to do that with a lot of our partners. And this is a great example of that. We're working with our partners, Chimigraph in Spain, and two falls ago, 2019, we hosted Cow Innovation Days, where we hosted some 100 people from various countries all over Europe into their demo facility in Barcelona. We featured demos of the Chromaplex Ap and the Chromaplex UV technology. And we had a great day of walking customers through the technology. And these were more than just label people. These were everything from, high-speed mailing, wide web litho, flexographic, lots of different applications and markets coming through there. And to address the wide range of customer demands, again, we have to be multi-technology competent. And we're addressing that with the different printhead technologies we use. We use our Kyocera printheads for our UV LED, so we can run some more aggressive inks, give us more water fastness, light fastness, better durability. We also have the Memjet VersaPass technology. That's the legacy water-based dye technology from Memjet. That was really what built Colordyne Technologies. When you look at our narrow web label business, that's been really the backbone for our company for years, and building installation base there. And then as we look towards the new Memjet Duraflex and Duralink technology, that's what we're building our Chromaplex Lt and Chromaplex Ap engines on. So now I'm going to quickly shift into just going through each individual engine, provide a little bit more technical insight. And the first one I'll be digging into is the Chromaplex Lt. This is the mid-range aqueous pigmented inkjet technology. We have this shown as kind of a roll-to-roll or a system that could integrate into a roll-to-roll system. This can also be designed to fit over mailing tables, conveyors. You could also configure to do printing on objects like boxes and all sorts of different things. You'll see it's able to be stitched up to 4 printheads wide and offer up to 51 inches of print area. And you'll see we offer it in 2 different printhead sizes, either A4 or A3, 8.5 inches or 12.75. And you can see the 2 printheads down there below. Each printhead has 2 banks of nozzles, so that helps with nozzle redundancy and producing really nice quality at the high speeds you'll see there of upwards of 150 feet per minute. And like I said, we like to empower other OEMs to take this technology and use it in their solutions. And one of the first companies using this technology is Aero Systems out of Niagara Falls, New York. And this is the Aerojet Agua 330R. And I'll get this video to play here. And you'll see the printhead drop down. It's going through the pre-maintenance cycle right now. It'll drop down onto the web. And then you'll see the web start moving. We have integrated ADFOS near infrared drying technology on the system as well. So this is a nice compact 13-inch wide web, 12.75-inch print area, CMYK, roll-to-roll printing device. You can do pre-die cut label on it. There's also some flexible packaging materials that can be run on this device. So all in all, a nice compact system that can be used for a wide variety of label or packaging applications. Now shifting gears into something a little bit more higher end, higher speeds, more scalability, more flexibility in the design. That is our Chromaplex Ap technology. This all starts at its core with an 8.5-inch print head. And then with that 8.5-inch print head, the control electronics, and dedicated maintenance module, we can very easily build and stack different configurations out to 102 inches wide or 2.5 meter wide applications. And that can be in a single color or up to 8 colors in line with the solution. So this builds builds a lot of flexibility into our engineering and applications. And this is the technology that right now we're seeing a lot of interest in those wider web markets where customers may just be looking to do 1 or 2 colors. You can see the very high speeds we can reach, close to 700 feet per minute. A lot of my customers kind of in the label space run more in that 300 feet per minute range. This picture here is a 25.5-inch CMYKK chassis populated with a 17-inch print area. So this has 2 print heads stitched together. This system is being used for commercial print application development and high-speed monochrome marking development. You'll see here as well, we have the integrated ADFOS near IR dryers. The unique thing about this system is we have 2 blacks installed here, and that's really so this customer has the opportunity to test high-speed monochrome marking, and the 2 blacks will be used to allow them to effectively double the speed. So you saw a speed of 660 some feet per minute. We're hopeful that we'll be able to achieve some really good quality at speeds in that 1,000 to 1,200 feet per minute range in the monochrome space. Here is another example of the Chromaplex Ap, except this is a narrow web configuration. This is an 8.5-inch wide CMYK system, also integrated with those ADFOS NIR dryers. And really one thing I'd like to highlight here is the value of what's sitting in this customer's floor. You know, when you look at the market today, a lot of people, narrow web, label and tag, that's kind of the blockbuster digital scene right now. You have these $1 million presses being shown at trade shows, and customers ultimately ask me all the time, you know, what's the value of the technology I'm providing? What can it do for them? I'm providing technology that they can integrate into an asset that's already on their floor, allow them to save costs, and ultimately have maybe 2 to 3 times more of the converting capacity or hybrid functionality that they could get by purchasing a brand new standalone system from many of the other industry suppliers in the market today. So this system here, this is an 8-color flexo press with our 4-color digital print engine. Again, a lot of bang for the buck here with this customer and what they'll be able to do with hybrid labels. Here's just a quick video of the Chromaplex Ap system. It's going through its pre-job maintenance. Those print heads will release and drop down to the web. The ADFOS dryers will kick on, and then you'll start to see the print being laid down. These are just some short, quick videos. If you want to see any of our technology in more depth, we have a wide range of YouTube videos available online. I'm trying to keep it short today, knowing that we have limited time. As I mentioned, this technology is very scalable, and we're working with a company called Simply Inkjet, because the market is demanding wider and faster solutions for digital, especially in the commercial print market, as there's a lot of legacy technology that's kind of coming to end of life, and companies may or may not be supporting it. A lot of these companies that have multiple monochrome print heads or very wide monochrome marking systems in their facility are now starting to ask the questions about what's next. And Simply Inkjet, they're working with us on everything from a single 8.5-inch print bar all the way out to 2.5 meters wide, whether that's mono, spot, CMYK. The guys at Simply Inkjet, it's founded by two industry vets that are very well respected. And they're really leveraging the Lego brick concept that the Duralink technology provides to allow them to get their customers' needs addressed very simply and very elegantly for their applications. When it comes to technology, sometimes you can't automate everything. And sometimes it's required for operators to get in there and do maintenance. But where we look to save time, this is a great example of just that. This is our printhead replacement for our Chromaplex Ap technology. It's completely toolless. It can be done with a single operator, so your technicians won't have to get help. Very simply release some levers, undo the latch, drop in a new printhead, and then resume, drop that back in. Once the printhead is installed, then it's very simply just run some calibration targets. These are either captured on a camera system or a flatbed scanner that then align with the printhead. And that brings all of your colors into register very simply, very easily. So our goal here is to provide simple, fast, and predictable solutions for operators of our equipment. Now we're going to shift gears into our UV inkjet technology. This is our Kyocera-based technology. This was developed and launched as our second generation platform this year. We added a lot of key automation features to the platform to make it easier to operate, less human error, and really optimize production. And this system was really designed to answer some print and apply applications that some customers were asking for, which I'll get into here at the end of the presentation. We implemented a slide engine design, so that allows the system to very easily slide out of the way for maintenance and accessing the print plat for any sort of cleaning, inspecting, anything like that. We also have implemented additional pinning lamps in between each color. And then we also have the ability to turn on and off sections of those pinning lamps, as well as the final cure lamp assembly. And then we've also done a lot of software upgrades to the system that allow the operators to control each lamp individually and the ramp up of those as well, which gives the operator a lot of control and management of the print quality they're delivering. Also in this system, we really beefed up and redesigned the ink delivery system completely. We implemented low flow circulation into the system. Keeping ink recirculating through those print heads is very important to reduce ink settling and nozzle outs. We have individual meniscus pressure implemented on the system as well. And then we've implemented some standby mode software improvements, which together these ultimately simplify the maintenance and reduce downtime due to nozzle outs, ink separation, and those pesky morning startups that sometimes may be a little bit longer than what customers would like. As I said, we dig into the integrated print and apply solutions. Colordyne's been working with some brand owners that have asked us for some very unique applications over the last couple of years, and really challenged my engineering team, and we've really stepped up and delivered. And a lot of companies talk about automation, and it's pretty focused in a narrow web label environment or into a specific mailing environment. Well, it doesn't get much more automated than a customer's packaging line and their goal of going from a barcode scan to finished, ready, labeled packaged product ready to ship out their packaging or out of their dock door. So we worked with this company, designed and implemented two different technologies. The UV is shown here. This is a UV print apply module. It's 7-color process. It works in an intermittent process to allow them to scan a barcode, send a work order to the printer, and then print labels in demand or on demand with the label applicator. I can't show you a video from their facility, but I can show you about 2/3 of the solution when we had the water-based version set up in our demo facility previously. but they both work very similarly. We have a unwind system, which has the ability to automatically splice rolls. Again, uptime is critical for this customer. And the way it manages the label printing, right now it's spooling into that festoon. If we had a label applicator connected to the other side, it would spool those labels out of that loose loop festoon and begin applying them to the products. Now, this has vision implemented in as well with the system. So if it detects any bad labels, those labels aren't applied to the products. Very high-end automation going into this. And this company, surprisingly enough, they were very, very well prepared for the COVID pandemic because of these solutions they implemented. They're a soap and hand sanitizer manufacturer. So you can imagine when the peak of COVID hit, they had a lot of demand coming at their door, and getting every second of uptime and productivity is really important. So that's really wraps up, I think, all I have time to cover for today. I'm hoping we have some time for some questions. The pre-attendance numbers looked really good. So hopefully you all who joined me today enjoyed the information. And if you want to connect with us at Colordyne, or if you have any additional follow-up questions, please feel free to email me or call me, and I'd be happy to speak with you directly. Thank you, everybody.
And thank you very much, Taylor. Very interesting and diverse role that you've got there, and for a company that's only been around 10 years, it sort of seems to be really well established as a leader in the field. I just got a couple of kind of questions for you that occurred to me. Really, is that you mentioned a couple of times that obviously we're hopefully coming out of the COVID situation. With that in mind, have you seen some interesting developments for Inkjet as a result of COVID? Do you see that as I don't want to say an opportunity, but you know what I mean? Has Inkjet become a bit more interesting for some people than it was before?
Yeah, I think there's peaks and valleys for everyone right now. There's definitely been a lot of companies coming to us as a result of needing to address some challenges because of COVID. A lot of our smaller technology gets used in decentralized applications, a lot of logistics applications, which, that's a big thing right now, moving products around the world very quickly, very affordably, and consistently across multiple plants. And then also like the hand sanitizer company that we're working with, they were already working on this path, 4 or 5 years ago with us, but it's stories like that really highlight and showcase the value of digital when it's done right. They took the time to go through the processes in advance and build something that's going to allow their businesses to respond. And I think that's the big message that everyone learned in this is, how do you respond when faced with these challenges? No one saw this coming. Hopefully we're not going to have to deal with something like this for too much longer, or we'll be better prepared the next time something like this happens. But companies right now, the smart ones, are investing in Inkjet and looking at where it can be used, because I think Inkjet really, when you compare it to other print technologies, it's a lot more versatile. You can mount it, you can jet down onto a box. You can't do that with the other digital technologies or analog print methods. So digital provides a lot of people a lot of flexibility.
Yeah, brilliant. And you mentioned strategic integration partners. That's the key sort of word that you use to describe kind of customers that are looking to develop technology, and do you help them with that? Is that how you work with customers, those strategic people? Explain.
Yeah, so those strategic integration partners, a great example would be a company who wants to build and develop a mailing, or they have mailing systems, inserters, things like that, but they want to empower their customers with 4-color process inkjet printing as well on their machines. They necessarily don't want to become an expert in the inkjet printing, but they want to be a knowledgeable resource for their customers to come to when they want to go digital. A lot of customers today that have been well capitalized in the analog space, building machines, they're now faced with their customers asking them for digital, and they have to have an answer for that. And whether they elect to, grab that torch, and I give them all the, encouragement to do so on their own, it's a big thing to overcome and to take on, is to dive into digital in the deep end. And our goal is to provide those companies digital integration services that really help them manage that. And they can take off as much as they want from us, or they can let us in full bore, and we can do it all for them. It's really kind of tailored fit to those customers and the markets and applications they want to go to.
Yeah. And I guess they benefit from your experience and expertise. And I guess one of the values is also avoiding making expensive mistakes as well, isn't it? Because it isn't a straightforward thing. And Inkjet has challenges, right? It's fair to say.
Like you said, the challenges, and then also I think, part of it is it's an exit path as well. If you build and install a couple digital machines, you have to support that customer. That customer is calling you when they have problems. And that's also the services we provide, is the back end support, and making sure that these customers are going to be able to run these machines when they want to.
So if the kind of people you're interested in talking to or making new relationships with, are people that might fall into that category, that want to work with you to help them bring together and bring out some new technologies that works for them and their markets.
Yeah, any machine manufacturers, whether that's in narrow web label and tag, commercial print, mailing, addressing, packaging, that don't have digital in their portfolio today, or want to expand their digital portfolio offering today, come and talk with our engineers, go through our product offering. If you didn't see something that necessarily spoke to your application today, it doesn't mean we're not offering it, or we can't do it. We're always looking at the next generation printhead technology, staying current. So our goal is to address the market.
Yeah, and you've got that nice position where you can work with a number of different technologies, whatever's right for the job, I would assume.
Yep.
Yeah. And lastly, obviously you're a US business, lots of businesses in the US, large economy, but you're still interested in Europe. So Count Kim McGrath and the work you do there, you've got quite a number of clients in Europe. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, we have built up a pretty good partner base in Europe. It's ever expanding. We have the Simply Inkjet guys just coming on board here end of last year, beginning of this year, kind of focusing in the monochrome mailing space and addressing markets. And then we have Couchimograph, which, historically they're an ink manufacturer more in wide web flexo and offset type of space, I believe. So they have a lot more wide web kind of label and packaging customers, or unique converting applications. So we try and, find key partners in key areas without providing a lot of channel conflict as well. I don't want my partners stepping on each other's toes. So, we try and make sure that, the companies are a good fit that we're working with, and, they're capable of, carrying the torch and representing the technology as well.
Superb. Well, thanks so much for that. It was very interesting. And we hope you join us for the Speaker Q&A live as well. Thanks very much today for joining us. And all the best as the year progresses, as we move out of lockdown and start to benefit from what I hope will be a boom later on this year. Thank you very much.
Hopefully. Thank you so much, Marcus. It's been a pleasure.